On the Don't Judge Me But podcast are the personal opinions of the host and do not reflect the opinions of its employers, sponsors, advertisers, endorsers, or any third party. The information provided on the podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as professional medical or legal advice. It is advisable to consult with a qualified professional for any medical or legal concerns. In other words, have fun, people.
God is good enough for them ducks. Is good enough for the shit.
But then when you're in your phone, you're like this, smiling and stuff. Like,
yeah. Let me hold that.
Going on?
Let me hold that.
Or even just wanting access to your partner's phone. Like, why? Why do you want access?
You know why you want access?
You want to be heartbroken.
You want to go through them DMs and see who they talking to. That's why.
You know what? If my girl was a toe sucker, or if she wanted me to do it, I probably would, but there would be strict protocols before that toe went in my mouth. I mean, I would probably have to like carry her to the bed. You know what I'm saying?
Because once the foot hit the floor, it's all over.
It's dirty.
And we are here. Hello.
What's happening?
We back for another one.
And another one. Oh. So I got my voice back. So for those of you who are new to the show, I go by the name of Sabrina, aka Simply Bree. And I got my two amigos.
Yeah, it's your boy Dame Herb over here. It's good to be back with y'all, aka repping CT.
It's your boy James, Mr. Mental Ambition. We in the building.
Yes. Shout out to each and every one of y'all who have tuned into Don't Judge Me But podcast. They're already going wild in the chat. No excuse, bring back the 90s. Oh my gosh. I miss 90s music. Zodiac, best Zodiac sign is finally here. Special 77 is talking reckless.
Yeah, Zodiac is Scorpio season.
Oh my God. Nanette. Oh Lord, DJ James says, Nanette, my family tells me I'm trying to be a Captain Saberheart. Wow, yeah, listen, you can't save them. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Yo, what's going on? Uncle Roy in the building. Marv 320.
Marv, what's happening, brother?
Yes, Ivan in the building. Scorpio season. Y'all kill me. Why is it always y'all?
Listen, it's just, everybody gets their turn, but it's our turn right now. Scorpios, salute, stand up. All right, this is our moment. All right.
Transformers now, stand up. Awesome. Well, tonight, my great people, for those of you who are not familiar with our show, this is the Don't Judge Me But podcast, where we talk about things that y'all wish y'all could talk about, but you don't want to be judged for. We're going to. Okay. Tonight's discussion is embracing vulnerability and masculinity. Let's talk about why guys are not showing emotions. Why are they not communicating as much as we women would love for them to communicate? I guess before we get into that topic, I gotta don't judge me. I had to alter it a little bit because I was like, I'm not trying to get a shutdown. So my don't judge me for today is don't judge me, but people who talk in circles or continuously repeat themselves cannot be trusted. They cannot. If you got somebody that tells you the same thing more than once within 1 minute of the same conversation, more than likely they're lying and they're trying to convince you out of all people. Don't believe them. Don't trust them with your kids, your car, your money, your dog, your image. That's my don't judge me for today.
I can agree with that. I can't be mad at it. If they can't be straightforward, why trust them?
I mean, honestly. And I gotta switch my mic.
Okay. I don't know what was, but
Yeah,
I mean, you guys know people that talk in circles, and you just want to like hurry up, like, okay, just say it. Just say it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So it's almost like they're trying to convince us of how great they are because they aren't that great. You know what I'm saying?
I can't hear.
Oh, you good?
It's something. Okay, I'll be back. I don't know what happened. I'll be back.
We lost her.
All right, Dan. So yeah, man. These people that be talking in circles, man. Once they start giving you a whole bunch of stories, or they just prolong the conversation, or they're nonstop talking and you can't get a word in, I don't believe nothing they say.
Yes, I agree.
Not at all. Yeah.
Listen, people that talk nonstop, I feel like they're trying to hide something. You know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to do all of the talking for what reason? Like, what are you trying to, take the focus off of? Because you clearly want me to be focused on whatever it is you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Trying to distract you and throw you off your game.
Right. You gotta stay woke. You know what I'm saying?
People who talk too much, man, it makes you seem like you're hiding something. It makes it seem like you're trying to convince us. It makes it seem like you don't really want us to know the truth about what is really going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, whenever someone starts talking to me for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes straight, I'm like, yo, fam, what is the point? Please get to whatever the main topic is. Because they'll start in one section and then transfer over to something else. And it does not answer the question I might have asked or whatever the topic we was talking about. They're just trying to throw me off. You know what I'm saying? Once people start doing all the extra talking, man, I don't even want to hear it.
So interesting is that Trump actually admitted that he does that. So a lot of the times when you see him having these debates and it just sounds like he's going off the far end, I forget what he calls the strategy, but he intentionally will talk about something completely different, more so on the points that he wanted to make. And then he'll circle back around and he'll finally address what you wanted him to originally talk about. But he's not going to put that much effort and energy into.
Right. And you can't confuse me and then tell me how coherent you are, because it just don't work that way. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta love those relationships too, where you're talking in circles. Person just doesn't. Let me ask you guys this question, because I was having a discussion today. When you are communicating, is your only responsibility to communicate your perspectives and your thoughts, or is a part of your responsibility with communicating to make sure that the other person comprehends?
Both, because you got to get your point out, the point that you're trying to make, because that's why you could be upset, or that's why you could be in a disagreement with your partner. You're trying to get a point across, but then you also have to convey it in a way that your partner can understand. Some people can understand just by talking. Some people need some examples to make it a little easier for them. You got to take into account both need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's going to be a little bit of give and take when you're communicating. There's going to be a certain way that people understand things. And like I always say, you got to make sure that you negotiate on your behalf, because no one else will. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a good question. You always got to remember that they're going to have their own opinion. They're going to interpret what you say. So you might have to find 3 ways to tell them on 3 different occasions. And each time might have to be a little firmer than the last one,
And even once you... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, and even once you tell them, like, sometimes people learn at a slower pace than others. Sometimes life might have to smack them in the face a couple of times before they can get what you're trying to say to them. Some people got to learn that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What if your person got ADHD?
Squirrel.
On the low.
Like, yeah. That's something that, and the thing is, if they're not honest about it, like, what if it takes you having to sit there and literally like analyze them in order to determine, this is what's the situation? Because a lot of relationships, when there's a person or even a party that feels like they don't want to be looked at as a flaw in the relationship or just not on the same level as their partner, they'll fake it till they make it. So, I understand. But if you ask them to elaborate or just, regurgitate what you said, they can't. Then it's like, well, do you really understand? So now if you have a partner that's not communicating back to you and telling you, I do not understand. And they just go along with it. How do you direct that type of that 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 interaction with them? Because I'm sure at some point in time it might even get frustrating.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's just a natural give and take.
Hmm. I had to learn that a couple of days ago. I was communicating but they wasn't comprehending. I had to get to their level of communication. Yeah. Yeah. That's all about relationships, and it's not even romantic relationships. It's every relationship, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I
You
agree.
know, especially at work. You want
And
the
we have
affection.
these ideals, we have these expectations on what a relationship looks like, and what we need in a relationship. So what you need when you're communicating your needs, that might not be the other person's idea of what a relationship looks like. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So everybody is like, I always say, when it comes to love and relationships, we all have our own versions of what it's supposed to be and look like in our head. And
Hmm.
it's usually based on what we saw, or it's like a counter version of what we saw, or it's a TV show that taught us what love would look like. You know what I mean? Like, we just all have different opinions on what love is. Love to you might look like Sunday breakfast at the table. You know what I'm saying? But love for me would look like, I don't know, a fucking milkshake at noon on Sunday. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
he's trying to have them
Like, let's
bubble
go
guts.
have milkshakes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. So speaking of love, like how do you know how you want to be loved, right? Because I feel like you have to have some type of understanding of what love is to you in order to then be able to communicate it to a potential partner. Hey, love to me looks like support. It looks like you taking an interest in understanding me, understanding my past, pouring into my future. That's what love looks like to me. How do you guys identify with what love looks like to you, and how do you communicate that to your partner?
Number one, I tell them what I need. For me to be loved, man, respect is number one. And respect isn't just talking to me with respect. It's when we go out places, respecting other people, not talking trash to them, not belittling people. If they get the order wrong, you ready to jump down their throat and tell them that I wanted a steak instead of nuggets. Like, respect.
Where are you going where you can get steak instead of nuggets? What?
Hey, fam, they got the kids menu. Chill. Now, all I'm saying is,
I was like, what?
They got steak and
listen,
nuggets
you can
on
go
the
to
menu.
Applebee's, man. Come on, man. They got nuggets and steak. Come on, man.
Uh, I love Applebee's.
But
Sorry.
respect, um, acts of service, man. Make my life easier. You know, help me with the dishes.
Hmm.
Help me with the laundry. Help me with a bill or two. You know what I'm saying? That's what women say. I want to say it too. I need some help. Life is
Hmm.
real. Bills are real. I need someone to help make my life a little easier.
Hmm.
Uh, um, what else do I need to be loved?
What they say,
Int-
keep your
wait,
belly full.
intimacy.
Oh, there we go. I was getting there.
You feel me?
Hmm.
Not just sex. And sex is one thing, but intimacy. Can we sit down and vibe and talk for a couple hours? Can we watch a movie and cuddle up and do the intermingling of the legs? You know how you just lay it with the
I'm
legs up?
done
Come on, man.
intermingling of the legs. That just made me feel like you got loose legs with no type of bone. Just
Put your leg
this
on
thing.
mine. I
Put your
like
leg
it.
on
I like
mine.
it.
Give me some of your body heat.
Yeah, I like it. Even if it's just a little bit.
Just a
I
little
like
bit.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just communicate what I need to be loved. But in order for me to know what I need to be loved, it's trial and error. You
Yeah.
know, dealing with different people, seeing how they treat me in the past, and what I'm willing to tolerate and what I'm not willing to tolerate, and what I expect and what I don't expect. It's just building boundaries as time goes along.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
like
What
it.
do you
I
say,
like it.
Jane? Dang.
I
Damn
think for
names.
me, love looks like a helpmate. Like, love looks like someone that is going to see what I like, see what my interests are, and
Hmm.
help me become more of what I am. I think that's kind of what love ultimately looks like for me. It just kind of develops me into a better version of myself, ideally. And just like I said, I think a helpmate kind of describes it for me. There really isn't anything financial involved in that, but if I like walks in the park, then maybe you want to get me some walking sneakers for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? And tell me that you noticed how much I like to walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And yeah, and that'll help me be a better version of myself. I kind of like that idea. And it
So
works
she
both
said,
ways. You know what I'm
so she
saying?
said, I want to go walking in Kenny Park, and I got some Dr. Scholl's arch supports for you. You for it?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to rock those. Thank you, baby. I heard about these. I heard Dr. Shows was good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's awesome. Okay. Well, just even getting into tonight's discussion, we're talking about vulnerability, embracing vulnerability and masculinity. I think being able to not it's not, and I want those listening to know this is not just focused on all men. It's an open conversation. So just having both parties, men and women, understand that in order to embrace vulnerability, you have to set some type of comfort there. Comfort and trust. How big is trust to you guys when it comes to letting your guard down? Like, are we going into relationships and getting to know people like, hey, this is me? Or is it, okay, let me give you a little bit and see how you treat that little bit?
You gotta give them just a spoonful.
Mm-hmm.
See how they react, man. But trust is major. But you can start by telling them something small about yourself and see how they react. Because if you jump straight in, yo, back in 05, man, I was out here doing this, that, and this. They were like, whoa, you was doing this? You was doing that? And then they give you the crazy eye. And now you sitting there like, whoa, should I have even told that? And it also depends on how long you've known the person. If you 2 days in and you telling them about your childhood, that might freak a couple of people out. You know what I'm saying? Spoon feed them a little bit.
Yeah. You know, it's funny when it comes to vulnerability. I would like to hold this ultra masculine pose all the way until I retire, right? Because there is no way for me to comprehend that a girl would appreciate vulnerability from me. There is this notion that just kind of follows me a little bit where it's like I have to deal with my problems and I got to deal with her problems. You know what I'm saying? Like I just have to go outside, talk to my friends about my problems, but she could give her problems to me all day long. And I don't know why I feel that way, but I just feel like society has kind of told me for a long time that that's what they expect of me, of us, as men. And even though I know it's important to be vulnerable, I personally still struggle with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all do. The interesting is very interesting. So when you had mentioned that one thing that you struggle with is just the whole idea of the fact you got to deal with your own stuff and then you also got to deal with her stuff. I feel like when it comes to even the family dynamic, men, you have a lot of responsibilities, whether you signed up for it or not. Because if you think about it, right, if your wife is not feeling well, and you have children, you're not expecting the child to take care of her. You got to take care of her. And then on top of that, if your mother call and she got some issues, they're going to go to the man. They're not going to go to other women of the family. It's typically the man. I don't understand why that is. I know that's just the perception that I got being raised, is that the man is going to get it done. You give it to the man when you want solutions. When you want to sit and come up with the concepts, you get with the woman. And that support who's going to be behind you, you get with the woman. So that weight that you have to carry, it almost paints a picture of perfection. Like you can't just only be able to deal with your stuff and not everybody else's. Um, so I completely understand what it is that you as a man experience, and that's why we're having this discussion. Because what can we do, men and other women? What can we do to help people who feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulders and they don't have time to address their own?
Yeah. So I think, what do you guys think about the relation between like quietness and the wall that we put up for that to keep the people away from our vulnerable side? A lot of
Mm,
times people are quiet. We just assume that they're just so calm and nothing bothers them. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But in reality, we never even think to ask, like, are you dealing with a lot? You know what I mean?
Right.
You might be going through something. Um, you're always there to listen. And I notice you never talk. Nobody ever picks up on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Check in with your strong friends.
Please check it down the strong friends. But I think it could be like a fear of judgment, you know?
Mhm.
Some people don't want to be seen as weak or vulnerable, so they rather keep quiet, keep to themselves. They feel that maybe there's no one in their corner that can help them with their problems.
Mhm.
So instead of talking about it or getting some advice or opening up and expressing what's bothering them, they'll keep it inside. But that's not good because you're sitting walking around a ticking time bomb
Yep.
waiting to explode. You got all your emotions in you. You got all these feelings. You got the stress from your parents, from your partner, from your kids, from work, from
Yep.
life. Your check engine lights on. You got so much going on, man. Yeah.
We still say your check engine light is
Listen,
on.
every
What?
time
That
my check
check engine
engine light
light be
go on, I
stressful when it
know it's
pop on. It
listen.
pop on out of nowhere to ruin your day.
The whole day. You like not that's automatically 300 right there. And I
Listen,
Automatically.
automatic 300. But you got to learn to express yourself if you're going through something. You ain't don't have to be the strong silent type.
right.
And then
Yeah.
talk to some people, man. Lean on somebody. There's nothing wrong with opening up and saying, "Hey, I'm stressed out. I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z, and sometimes I don't know how to deal with it." Express yourself. Get it out of your mind. When you hold it in here, it stays in here and it continues to replay. Talk to somebody. People that you trust, though. People with some good sense. Not just
Right.
anybody that you know is on some goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
And like, let go of the idea that you have something to lose, right? Because your only options are to suffer through it alone or talk to somebody, and you might have somebody to have your back.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case scenario, you got to suffer through it alone.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we all go through tough moments, and we all have vulnerabilities because none of us are perfect. And the sooner that we accept that, the sooner that we can kind of enjoy life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's the weight of the world falls on all of us. And so I always like to say, you lean on a friend that's in a good moment in life, because sometimes they might not be in a good moment and they might not have the emotional bandwidth for you. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So check in on your friends. Y'all might have the same issues in common.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
so the so a lot of the issues that we tend to have is that women don't know the way that men deal with certain issues, and men don't know the way that women deal with certain issues. So let's talk about relationships and breakups. How do men go through or how might you as a man go through a breakup with a relationship? Let's say you're 3-4 years into it, and she just says, same, I feel like we're just not on the same page. And despite as many times as we try to get there, I just don't feel like that's gonna work. So I'm deciding I'm gonna just, bow out gracefully. And y'all been in this for 5 years. How might men deal with breakups?
men we rely on each other after a breakup. I'm just going
Mhm.
to be 100% honest with you. We call our homies, We are looking to laugh. We're looking to take our mind off of the breakup. Breakups are painful. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're the one that got dumped. So you got to rely. And this might be controversial. Don't judge me, but I am also a fan of getting back into the dating scene. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to be ready to settle down again, but you need to go out and meet people. You need to have people that remind you of your good qualities, right? Like a person might be leaving you based on things that they don't like about you, it could be about compatibility, but it's really important to get back in front of people that see value in you, that tell you that you have a nice smile, that tell you that your jokes are hilarious. You know what I mean? That enjoy having a drink with you and going out with you and hanging out. And like Special says, you have to get used to enjoying your own company. Get back into the things that you enjoy. Pursue your interests. Do things you always wanted to do. Like you have to get comfortable enjoying your own company. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Before you bring yourself to somebody else's life or into someone else's situation. If you don't know how to be, if you don't know how to be single, be alone, be, with yourself, even at the weakest moments, then that's when you're probably gonna fall victim to codependency. James, what do you think? How do you guys let's refer to this book, sir. What's in the book? Because I know some
You
stuff.
want to know what's in the book for dealing with a breakup?
Yeah, what's in the book?
Let's go to the book.
I already do. Look,
let's go to the book. You heard?
Yeah.
Let's see what the book talking about.
I already know.
Matter of fact, no, we're not gonna go to the book because it's in here. I wrote it.
Yeah.
So, how do men deal with breakups? Normally, it's distractions. Anything to keep our minds occupied so we don't have to feel the emotions of being hurt. Whether that's playing video games, whether that's hanging out with your boys, whether that's going to the bar, the club. Some of us overwork. We dive headfirst into work just to distract ourselves. But it's never good because now you're still burying all those emotions that you have just went through. It takes time for you to get over getting your heart broken. You have to be able to sit with yourself. You got to feel that pain. How could she do this to me after everything we've been through and all the money and love and affection I gave her? I gave her everything. Yeah, you did. But you know what? You're still alive and you can still give it to somebody else. That's a fact. You got to take time to get back to you. Sit there and cry if you got to. Sit there and scream, argue. Let out some anger. Go to a boxing class. Go to a break room and break some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Feel all that hurt so that way you can move past it and you're not holding in resentments for somebody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got it. Huh?
I just want to add, there's also like 5 billion other people.
Yeah, that's just one. Now your options is open. I'm going to say it like this. Well, if you think you can't find nobody, check this analogy. How many times you went to the airport and you saw hundreds of people that you've never seen before in your life, all different shapes, sizes, and everything from everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Those are all your future potentials. Just go talk to somebody new. But you got to give yourself time to heal and work through it. I recommend therapy so you can talk about your emotions, get that out of you, and then rebuild. Start working on yourself. Go to school, get a certification. Start a side hustle. Start a business, write a book, work on your music career, focus on you, get back to you. That's what it breaks down to. Once the other person's gone and you can't lean on them for love and affection and support, give it to yourself. Lean on you. Get back to learning you, your likes, your dislikes, what you want, what you don't want, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate in your next relationship, whenever that comes.
Right. Yeah.
I'll talk for another 20 minutes.
Shut up. Yeah, one more.
What you
Have
got?
A little respect for yourself. Because if a person doesn't want you, you shouldn't want that person. If you are chasing someone that doesn't want to be with you, you have to realize you're not chasing anything of quality. You're not chasing value. You're not chasing them because of how they treat you. You're just chasing them because you like the idea of them and you want them to be yours. But you're not chasing them because they treat you well. So you gotta have a little respect for yourself, and you're gonna catch yourself falling in love with someone, and you're gonna have the desire to chase them, but you gotta ask yourself, what am I chasing? If they're not giving you what you need, then you shouldn't be chasing it. You're trying to mold them into what they aren't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, just remember, ain't nobody gonna stick up for you. You gotta stick up for yourself. You gotta have some respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Because I've seen guys make themselves look goofy over women. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make yourself just look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're just trying, you're stuck on having one person, and you know what I mean? And that person is running from you. Whatever you chase runs, right? So, instead you should be attracting, like James said, go do stuff that you enjoy doing. That's the only way to find people that you share interests with, is by pursuing your interests. You know what I'm saying?
I want to add on to this. Once they left, they've made that decision. Don't let them back in your life. Because if it was supposed to work out, it would have worked out. It didn't work out. Don't be up texting them 2-3 in the morning. I love you. How can you do this to me? Don't be leaving them voicemails. Yeah.
Just send them to me. Send them to me.
Don't be crying in the voicemails, man.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. She moved on. Let it go. It's all right. Go ahead, Dane.
This probably goes both ways for men and women. But fellas, she broke up with you. You know what she's doing right now?
Talking about you.
Do you have any idea
what she's
doing right now? What's she doing, Bree?
I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. Is she either
after she broke up with him? What you think she did?
She trying to get over him by probably getting under somebody else.
That's one thing she could have did. That's for sure.
No.
That's what a lot of
she's
people
probably
think.
going through it too. She's probably sitting home, crying, sick, losing weight, don't want to hang out with her girlfriends, like looking at pictures. She's stalking your Instagram. She's stalking your Facebook. Like, she want to know why.
But also, she might not be.
What is she doing then?
No. I'm just saying, like, sometimes we'd be like, they ain't never gonna find nothing like me. I'm a good person. I'm a good man. You know what I'm saying? She a fool for not wanting to be with me. But the truth is, somebody else might have her heart, right? You might not be her type. Like, she's your type, but you're not her type. So all of the emotions that you're feeling, that other person might not be feeling them. And this is the thing. It's hard to hear. It's hard for me to say. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's the truth. Sometimes the person that we fall for, or the person that breaks our heart, genuinely just wasn't that into us. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you just got to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might not be home brokenhearted. They might be like, this was a nice, they might be brokenhearted in this sense. He was a nice person. Yeah. But he just wasn't my person. And I wish him well. You know what I'm saying? They
glad they finally got that out of their system. Like, I didn't know how I was gonna tell them, boy. I think he took it really well. Okay.
And look, now this motherfucker keep calling me. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick commercial break, you guys. Please make sure that you have us locked in. Subscribe to the Don't Judge Me But podcast. And stay tuned because we will continue this conversation when we return.
Mental ambition is a belief that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. It's holding yourself accountable for your mistakes, working through your traumas. It's never giving up and overcoming any roadblocks or obstacles in your way that prevent your growth and progress. This is a self-help book that deals with mental health, life coaching, and practical advice that anyone can follow to help with self-improvement, accompanied by real-life stories to motivate and inspire you. My name is James Sweat. I'm a certified life coach and author of Mental Ambition, a guide to upgrading your life. If you feel that you have no one in your corner, just know that I'm rooting for you to win, and I believe in you. God bless and keep going.
All right, and we are back, you guys. You have tuned in if this is your first time watching. This is the Don't Judge Me But podcast. I am your girl Sabrina, and of course, above me are my two guys.
It's your boy James.
And your boy Dame Herb, repping CT.
All right. So we were talking about vulnerability and what it looks like for men when there's a breakup. One takeaway that I think people should definitely have in their back pocket, whether you're a male, whether you're a female, doesn't matter. You cannot own people. People are not here to be your possession. People are in relationships with you at free will. So once you understand that you cannot own someone and that they can get up and leave at any point in time, I think that can definitely contribute towards your healing process, speeding it up a little bit. Because I mean, how many times do you hear, that's that person's mine. That's my person. That's my person. No. No, they like you as much as you like them, hopefully. Um and they choose to want to be in this relationship and grow with you. The only time that it somewhat begins to feel like a piece of possession is when you're legally married, because now legally you are binded to that person, financially you are binded to that person. So but as long as we all have that in the back of our heads that I don't own that person, then I feel like I said, I don't want to repeat myself because then I would be contradicting my don't judge me. But um we'll be able to heal a little bit more quicker, a little bit more easier.
I want to throw something on top of that.
Okay.
The more you try and control somebody, the more they try and pull away. If you're overbearing, you want to know everywhere they're at. You're following them on the GPS location. You popping up on the job. You don't think that's a little wild? Would you want someone doing that to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to let people be themselves. Let them show you who they are, and then you move accordingly. Don't try and control their every movement. Don't try and make this is my person. Yes, that's your person, but they're still their own person
Yeah.
with their own morals, their own beliefs, and their own way of how they grew up. Let them be them. And then, because another thing I notice is, you ever notice how you tell somebody exactly what you want, and then they turn out to be that? And then, like a month or two in, the real them come out, and you're like, yo, what is this? Don't tell people what you fully expect or want them to be, because then they can act that way.
Yeah.
Let them be them. Let them show you their goofy side, their angry side, however they are, and make your decision based off of that if you want to be with them or not.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think that when you try, I think this whole idea of ownership, I think it's wrong, and it's because if you any plant owners that are watching right now, y'all know how it goes. If you bring a plant from outside inside, the plant might die. You know what I'm saying? You might like to have a pet bird, but the pet bird is probably going to die. And the thing is, you have to appreciate something for what it is and not for what you want it to be. And seeing somebody happy, like I think true love is seeing somebody happy, even if it's not with you. Sometimes they are better off in a different environment other than yours. And you have to be happy to see that person grow, prosper, and be happy. And it just might not have been with you. You know what I'm saying? And the same with me, like I'm sure for all of us, we've encountered some great people that we just couldn't be in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite their greatness.
Yeah. You could be building someone for somebody else.
Ooh, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Listen,
right
that's real. You just gave them all your jewels, all this, all your knowledge. You told them how to act. You might have taught them how to cook, how to handle certain things, and then they still leave. But you made them better for somebody else.
Yeah.
It happens a lot, but it's
Yeah.
okay because someone else is building somebody else for you.
Yeah. And guess what? They may not even be intended to stick around for that long. So you got to get used to that too. Because
Major point.
I
This,
think when we
in
sit
this
here,
journey of ours,
yeah, people are
some
not
people
going
aren't
to
meant
be
to
there.
stay.
Yes, it's a season, a lesson, a reason. Like
Mhm.
some particular situation, this person is supposed to come in here and help you either identify the issue or identify the resolution or help you get through the issue itself. But
Yes.
just because they help you get through it and it makes you feel good and you want to feel like that all the time doesn't mean you go ahead and wife that person up. Like it doesn't work that way. Because like and Dame was saying at the beginning, like they they're showing you who they are. And just because they're showing you who they are doesn't mean like they're gonna want to be that way with you. Like, you ever had somebody bring out a different side of you that you never knew even existed?
Mhm.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
some people you
But
want forever.
yeah, and sometimes in relationships, when we are in dysfunctional relationships or relationships that have run their course, we should no longer be in them. We don't even recognize ourselves. We spazzing on our partner is spazzing on us. We
Yeah.
irritable. You know what I'm saying? Like a normally nice person. I remember one time one of my homies, this is one of his previous relationships, whatever, but I went to visit him and I'm hanging out at his house. And I think his girl might have walked in and said hi. He's like, oh, this fucking chick always wanna come in here and I'm like, damn, like she ain't even do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like,
Wow.
but it just goes when you're forcing it, you know what I mean? When you're forcing something that should maybe be over, or maybe you two need to get together and just renegotiate the terms of the relationship or something.
Right. Like a contract.
Yeah.
All right, boom. I want to add something on that. So, when it comes to emotions, right? If you're in a relationship and someone can get you to the point where you're always spazzing out and you're always angry or you're arguing all the time, fam, you love them way too much.
Mhm.
Your emotions are involved way too much. Love and hate are the same emotion, just on opposite sides of the spectrum. Extreme love is I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you're okay. It turns to hate when the person that you're dealing with is not living up to what your expectations of what they should be
Mhm.
and what you want them to be. And what it is, it's a constant balance of I love you and I hate you. But if you're always mad, fam, y'all got to work through that. You love them way too much. You got to take some time to yourself. Fall back a little bit, man.
Yeah.
If they walking in the house and you're like, oh, she's saying hi to people, fam, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Take a look at within yourself. Why is her just saying hi a real problem to you? Is it because she didn't say hi just to you?
Or
Do
if
you
she said
not?
anything at all.
Does she say anything at all? Does she even like you anymore? Do you like her anymore? Or are you just together because the bills are being paid?
Yeah, roommates.
Y'all roommates. How many people end up being roommates? A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Rent $2,000. Listen, I don't like you, you don't like me, but I'm gonna stay here and you gonna stay here, and then we gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Because we
Because no
both
one
can't
wants to
afford to
leave.
be on our own.
And some people get stuck like that. You stuck in a relationship for 3 to 5 years. You both miserable, arguing at each other, throwing lamps at each other.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let's not forget like the value of space. And I think that
Woo.
a
Oof.
lot of times
We
people
both said it.
people
Come
yeah,
on now.
people in relationships sometimes don't give each other enough space. They
Mm.
don't give each other, sometimes they identify with the arguments
Mhm.
so much. You know what I'm saying? Like the arguments become the relationship almost. And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like you need to go do something you like. She needs to go do something she likes. Then y'all could get back together and have a good conversation about what has gone on in your lives while you were apart. I think that is important. Space and doing stuff for yourself, it never stops. You still got to do it, even in a relationship. Can't be all up under someone's butt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think with that point right there, that's where you get people who they take an interest in what it is that you like so that they can spend more time with you. It's not what they like. They
Mhm.
I can't stand sports. But I know that that's what you like. And if that's going to give me a little bit more time with you, Hey, babe, Team Hawks, Team Falcons. Why not, right? I'm wearing a jersey. I know the chant because I think secretly down in the depths of certain people, they're afraid to lose you. You have space. That means that there's enough opportunity for somebody to come in and scoop you up.
Mhm.
Once again, it's that possession. I don't want somebody to take what's mine. So I need to stay under you 24/7. I need to be on your skin so that I know nobody else can take it. And that's sad.
It's
It
very
makes you
sad.
question, like, okay, what about yourself? Like, what goals, what ambitions, what drives do you have? Right?
So important. What do you like to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I
I
like to
get
do what
that
you
you
like to
have
do.
on the same team uniform that I'm wearing, and you're doing it for me because you want to be with me. But if I wasn't here, how
What would
would
you
you
be
spend your
doing?
day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of people can't even answer that question.
They can't answer that question because they're not pursuing their interests. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mm. You guys out there in the chat, what do you guys think? Like how do you address partners who they feel like they need to be everywhere you are? They need to hear from you all the time, every day, simply because they're afraid to be by themselves. Because that's what it is. You fear being by yourself because you don't know what may happen. So, what else we got for vulnerability? Because I'm curious. I'm curious with you guys. Like, what was the upbringing like? Were you told you better not cry? Don't
as a
show no
as a man,
emotion?
as a boy growing up, I think we're
Mhm.
all taught you don't cry, you don't show no emotions, you stand up for yourself, you stand up for your family and your friends and the things that you want to fight for.
Yeah.
We're taught be strong. You got a problem, no one's coming to save you. Figure it out on your own.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And because of that, that's why a lot of men don't want to open up, or we don't know how to vocalize what we want. We don't
Yeah.
vocalize what we need to feel loved. It's hard to express yourself when you, for 20, 30, 40 years, you never did.
Right.
So then every time we get a chance to express ourselves, the only thing we know how to do is let out anger
Mhm.
because we can't express that I'm feeling, what's a good emotion? I'm feeling,
Weak.
Regret, weakness, yeah, anything.
boom, look, see, I'm feeling, I'm feeling vulnerable.
Yeah. Real vulnerable right now. Real
I'm
sensitive right
feeling real
now.
vulnerable right now. You know what I'm saying? So if a man hasn't been able to express how he feels throughout his whole lifetime, he becomes emotionally unavailable. And that's how what a lot of us become.
Yeah.
Because it, like in a relationship, it'll strain your relationship if you can't open up to your partner. She
Mhm.
wants love and affection and wants you to tell her all these nice things and spend time with her and console her and speak into her, but you can't even speak into yourself.
Yeah.
You keeping all your thoughts and all your ambitions and everything within you, man.
Right.
How you gonna express yourself to anybody without
Mhm.
blowing up on them if your whole life you've never expressed yourself or talked to a therapist or a life coach?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
You know,
You're right
Yeah.
here.
or a life coach or a
You know
recovery
what I'm
coach or a
saying?
counselor. Talk to somebody, man. You
Mhm.
gotta. I think what it is men get so caught up in having to be a tough guy that you forget that you're human.
Yes.
We're not robots. We are men with feelings and emotions, and we have thoughts and we have desires and wants and needs that need to be addressed.
Mhm.
I'm
Facts.
gonna shut up because I was about to go in for like another 20 minutes.
No, we're gonna keep going, but let me read this statement
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Distinctively Drea. I may have missed a few guys mention this before, but in terms of vulnerability, how do you as men express in the moment when you are hurt by something your partner has done?
Normally, men will yell, "I can't believe you did that."
I'm sorry.
But when
Dang.
I'm hurt,
Quiet,
I'm
silent.
gonna speak for me. When I'm hurt, I will talk to my fiance and say, "Look, you did this. I don't like this, and this is exactly why." I'll break it down why I don't like it. Whether she understands it or not doesn't matter because I got my point across.
Yeah.
I got out what needed to be said. If I'm just yelling and angry. But if I can explain it to her in a way that she might be able to understand, she'll understand why I felt that way.
Yeah.
Because once you start yelling, no one wants to be yelled at. If you start yelling at me, you think I'm gonna listen? If I yelled at you, would you listen? No. You say it's learning to be able to speak to people and express how you feel about a certain situation and breaking it down so they can understand your logic, and don't expect them to be a mind reader. They don't know what's bothering you. They don't know what
Right.
traumas you've been through. They don't know what abuse you might have had to deal with. They don't know your whole life story. So
Yeah.
explain it to them. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dame, what do you say?
I think in moments of hurt, or when your partner does something that hurts you, sometimes in the moment, you may not call it out. Sometimes it might take a moment to process. But I think that I have learned to double back, always double back. Hey, when you said that the other day, it really bothered me. Because if you don't do that, then it's just gonna build, because the disrespect is just gonna continue, especially if you don't point it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when something happens, it's okay to let the moment pass, and it's okay to digest it and think about it, and then be like, hey, I really wasn't okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the other day, Sunday, when you said whatever you said on Sunday, last Sunday, it bothered me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if we can continue on with that kind of interaction or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I think for me, it's just important, even if you need to process it in a moment, double back and address it. I think that's important.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Nanette says, I admire a man that can be vulnerable, not whiny or obsessive. There is a line between vulnerability and whiny. I agree with James. Good communication is key. And of course, with communication, we mean not only being able to comprehend what is being said, but communicate it in a way where it's easy to be digested. If you don't understand, say, hey, I don't understand what you meant by that. Can you maybe put it in another way? But of course, you got to be vulnerable in order to even acknowledge that you don't understand, instead of saying, yeah, I agree, and you don't agree. That's just what it is. Um, so, of course, with society, it has painted this picture where a man, um, he's not going to show his emotions. He's going to be brolic. He's going to be hardcore aggressive. The more aggressive he is, the more alpha he is, right? Because now we've separated even men. We have betas, we have simps, we have alphas. Like, how do you guys deal with, you just being split in multiple different categories when at the end of the day, if you want to cry, you can cry. If you like a woman and you want to spend or splurge on her, you can do that and not be looked at as a simp. Like, how do you deal with the breakdowns?
Can I just say real quick? Last week, I said, don't judge me, but I wear Crocs. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Um, so this whole talk of being alpha male, beta male, crying, I've always said that real men do whatever the hell they want to do. Real men wear Crocs if they want to. Real men cry if they want to, if they need to. Real men do whatever the hell they want to, because ain't nobody gonna tell a real man that he can't.
He said, "Who gonna check me?"
You know what being a real man is? Being yourself.
Hmm.
Don't get classified by what other people think. Alpha, beta, sigma, you cry. Who cares? Be you, fam. You got one life. Don't let society or other men, other women, or whoever classify you into something because they feel that they can. You are your own person with your own story, who's had their own life with their own ups and downs, trials, tribulations, arguments, heartbreaks, trauma, abuse. You've had so much and you've overcome so much. Who cares what anyone else thinks of you? Be yourself. Nobody can take away who you are. And your definition of a real man will differ from what other men think of or other women think of what a real man is. But as long as you're living up to your own definition, it doesn't matter.
Right. You got to be true to yourself.
Be you, fam. If you got to cry, go cry. No one got to see you cry, but do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, facts.
All right. So, wrapping up this evening's discussion, any final words, any piece of advice for men out there who might be just questioning, how they can go about their manhood a certain type of way, how they can embrace vulnerability differently than what social media and people who grew up in certain households have told them?
I think
Yeah, Dane.
I think for me, my advice will be okay with being honest and accept that you might be judged for what you say. I think the courage to share your honest feelings about any and everything should be a mission of yours. I think that a lot of times we are afraid to be vulnerable because we feel as if we're going to get judged. And we feel like, people are going to say things about us. But that's the only reason we aren't vulnerable. So, first of all, have the courage to say how you truly feel and have the courage to walk away if you need to. I think that's really my advice for the youngins. How about you, James?
Uh, when most people hear vulnerable, they think soft automatically, right? Instead of saying vulnerable, just express yourself. Open up and talk about the things that are bothering you. You experience heartache, you experience loss, you experience whatever you've experienced. Talk to somebody, man. Talk to a life coach, therapist, church member, confidant, mentor, somebody. Don't walk around angry all day, every day, or if someone asks you a simple question, you ready to flip out on everybody. You don't have to be overly aggressive and be the biggest tough guy in the world. Because most tough guys who, when they get beat up, they get laughed at. Focus on you, man. Fix yourself. I say it every episode, man. Everything we talk about all breaks down to you. You got your life and how you want it to go. And the best way to find a good partner is for you to work on yourself and become the partner that you're looking for.
Mhm.
Get your emotions in check, get the help that you need, and you go from there. Everything else will fall in place.
Awesome. I would simply just say, from a woman's perspective, to men, when it comes to embracing your vulnerability, understand that women are not your enemy. We're here to support you. You might come across a lot of women who don't know how to support you. That's where you having a voice comes into place. Let us know, what does support look like for you in particular, because how it looks for you might not look the same for James or Dane. But understand that we are not here to break you down. We are not the ops. We are not your enemy. We are literally, we're here to support you and help us,
Excuse me.
teach us, you know, give us the opportunity. So that's just my 2 cents. For those of you who are new to the channel, we appreciate you rocking with us. The chats were going crazy. We appreciate the interaction. We'll go ahead and do the roll call for the chat. So if you, as a matter of fact, if you are still, you okay over there, Dave?
He's
You
not
being
up.
vulnerable right now, choking on air. You okay?
Don't
Let me see.
mind
I'm trying to
me.
be supportive, y'all.
Just a little parched.
Okay. All right. We're going to do roll call. If you hear your name, I need you to put present in the chat because I want to make sure you're still here. So we have DJ James. We got Special 77, Nanette, Ivan. We got Marv in the building. Let's see who else. I've seen oh, there's two Ivan. Okay, another Ivan. And I've seen Drea, distinctively Drea. So if you guys are still here, go ahead and put present. Okay, Nanette here.
Nanette's
Go
in the
ahead and put
building.
present. Yes. We're
Yeah.
doing roll call. So at the end of every episode, you have to stick around because we're gonna do roll call. We need to do something for these people who are consistently supporting us. Like y'all the MVPs. Marv's
Big
still
facts.
here. Okay.
We
gotta
gotta
figure
get
out
them gift
Big
cards or something. Do a raffle.
Yeah, I think we gonna get Dame off the air because
Cough drops.
Yes. So y'all make sure y'all follow us on social media. Don't Judge Me But Podcast. We're gonna go ahead and put together something very special for our day ones because we couldn't do this without y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up. I'll go last. We'll go ahead. We'll let James go first. James, let the people know what do you got going on. How can they reach you and support what you have, sir?
It's your boy James, Mr. Mental Ambition, author of Mental Ambition, a guide to upgrading your life. Mental Ambition, a guide to a better relationship, available at Amazon, Walmart, BarnesandNoble.com, TikTok right there at mental_ambition 2.0, 70,000 followers, 2 million likes, 80 million views. Instagram at mental_ambition 3.0. I ain't got that many followers because they keep deleting my pages. Do you feel you have no one to talk to? Do you not know what to do next in life? Do you have a desire to get things off your chest in a safe space? Well, that's where I come in. I'm a life coach, recovery coach, podcaster, motivational speaker, and author. I'm willing to sit down with you and help you get your life in order. Hit the website, 3ws.mental-ambition.com if you want to get in contact with me for any of the services that I offer. Prepare your mind for any challenge. Believe you can accomplish anything. Keep going.
I felt like that was a whole commercial right there, sir. Okay.
I've been practicing. You heard?
Yeah.
Word.
Yes.
Shit.
All right. Next, we got the one and only Dame. Sir, let them know what you got going on. How can they reach out to you and support you?
It's your boy Dame Irv, aka Reppin' CT. I think the best thing that you could probably do right now is follow me on YouTube. Listen, I made $800 in a weekend, but you gotta follow me on YouTube to find out how I did it. I usually give you guys like a little homework, but I'm not gonna do that. This week, I'm gonna give you guys something to think about, okay? What good is a boundary if a consequence of breaking it is you not walking away? So why set a boundary if you're not willing to walk away in general? Lastly, you could go get yourself some merch. Check this out. Positive energy. Go get you some. urbanbuddha.bigcartel.com. It's for people that like to stay calm in the middle of chaos, don't take nobody's shit, and treats everybody well. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. I'm glad you guys tuned in. I really appreciate you.
Yes, y'all been practicing.
We got, we gotta get these services out to the people.
Wow. Right? See, sheesh. Okay. All right. Well, it is I, your girl Sabrina, aka Simply Bree. You guys can find me across social media. Simply Bree is spelled SIMPLEEBREE, all across social media. Check out the website. He said what network.com. We also got a Facebook group, Don't Judge Me But Facebook group. And I've been mentioning this time and time again. I know y'all was like, okay, you keep saying it, but I wanted to let y'all know we have merch now. Okay. So if you go to he said what network.com and scroll down, it says support us, purchase our merch. We have hats, we have hoodies, we have pins. Like cop something and let us know that you deal with us like that. Even if you don't buy anything, spread the word, let people know all about the podcast. Don't Judge Me But Podcast. And you are also welcome to like, comment, and share your favorite episode every week, Sundays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys know, listen, we're talking about the stuff that people are afraid to talk about. We talking about it because we don't care if you judge us. Don't judge us. But if you do judge us, we really don't mind. You got to do what you got to do, right? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Shout out to Laura. Laura, hey.
Big shout out to
Laura
Laura.
said, great discussion, guys. Have a great week. You as well. Marv, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See y'all next week.
Salute, Marv.
With that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and wind this thing down. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Make sure you subscribe to the Don't Judge Me But podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And come back next week, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Very important to make sure that the person you're with knows what you need, because if you're not getting your needs met, what are we really holding on to with this leash?
You're gonna be judged, whether you agree to it or not. People are always going to have something to say because it's not what they like.
If you want to be solo, just y'all two, like most of us want, you kick it that way.